In this video, your residency options for visas in Italy. If you've ever dreamed of living in Italy, whether it's to retire, invest in a startup, or simply enjoy la dolce vita, maybe move your family, you want to get out of Canada, get out of the US, this video is for you. We're going to cover all the key visa programs, including the Golden Visa, the Elective Residency Visa, and other retirement-focused options. We're going to break down the requirements, the benefits, the application processes, and some practical tips to help you navigate these pathways. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the Italian Golden Visa, also known as the Investor Visa for Italy. This program, introduced I believe in 2017, is designed for non-EU citizens who want to obtain residency by making a significant financial investment in the Italian economy. It's a popular choice for high net worth individuals, entrepreneurs, and retirees looking to secure a foothold in Europe. The Golden Visa grants a 2-year residence permit, renewable for 3-year periods, provided the investment is maintained. After 5 years of residency, you can apply for permanent residency, and after 10 years, you may be eligible for Italian citizenship through naturalization, assuming you meet additional requirements like language proficiency, clean criminal record, and spending some time in the country. The Golden Visa offers 4 investment options, each with a different financial threshold. These are 4 common options, but there's actually a lot of different financial products that work for the Golden Visa. Either way you split it, it's going to be a 6-figure investment. We work closely with a lot of these top investment migration firms in Italy. I was actually just in Italy last week meeting with everybody. So if you're interested in the Golden Visa, we can definitely help with that. Probably worth mentioning at this point in time that MyLatinLife is a full-scale immigration consultancy. We help people get residency and citizenship in Italy. I'm actually an Italian citizen as well. So there's a link in the description to book a call with us. You could be speaking to us as early as this week, and we can weigh all of your visa options for Italy and for Europe in general. Because maybe you might be looking at Italy, but you might also be looking at Spain, Portugal, Greece, etc. So link in the description to book a call with us and start making this a reality. Get all your burning questions answered specifically for you. But moving on with the video, let's talk about the investment options in detail. The most accessible is a minimum investment of 250,000 euros in an innovative Italian startup. This is a government-approved venture, often in tech or hospitality, and it can be a relatively low-risk entry point for investors. For example, some programs allow you to invest in real estate-backed businesses like hotel redevelopment, which provides exposure to property without direct ownership, as real estate purchases don't qualify for this visa, right? You can't buy a single-family home for the Golden Visa, but you could invest in, say, a real estate fund. The second option is a 500,000 euro investment in an Italian limited company, which must be active and have filed at least one balance sheet. The third option requires a €1 million donation to a philanthropic project in areas like culture, education, or scientific research. So if you want to donate a wing to a hospital or something, that will work too. Finally, the highest threshold is a €2 million investment in Italian government bonds, with at least 2 years of residual maturity. Each option has its pros and cons, but the startup and company investments are generally the most popular due to their lower entry points. And even within that 250K, within that 500K, there's lots of different financial products that you can choose from based on your risk profile. So to apply for the Golden Visa, you start by obtaining what's called a nulla osta, or a certificate of no impediment, through the Italian investor portal. You'll need to submit proof of funds, a clean criminal record, and a detailed investment plan. The committee reviews your application within 30 days. If approved, You have 6 months to apply for the visa at an Italian consulate in your home country. Once in Italy, you must make the investment within 3 months and apply for a residence permit at the local questura, which is like the municipal office, within 8 days of arrival. The entire process typically takes 6 to 8 months, though it can be faster with legal assistance. Key benefits include the right to live, work, and study in Italy, visa-free travel within the Schengen, and the ability to include your spouse, minor children, dependent adult children, and parents in the application. There's no minimum residency requirement, meaning you don't have to live in Italy full-time to maintain the visa, which is a major advantage over other programs, and especially because Italy is so central to the Italian continent, that's very easy to take trains and drive, and of course fly to get to the other countries. Whereas, say, if you did like the Greece program, you're on the other side of Europe. It's not connected by train or driving directly to the rest of the Schengen area, so it's a little bit more complicated. And maybe we sort of glossed over this briefly. I'm not sure if this sunk in, but you get approved before you actually make the investment, which is a huge benefit. It's one of the only programs that I know of where you get approved for residency in the Schengen area before you even make an investment in the Schengen area. So this significantly reduces your risk. You don't have to invest until you get Schengen access, essentially. Obviously, you still have to, apply through the consulate and the steps that we mentioned, but this significantly reduces your risk. And the other important piece that, maybe we glossed over, but this needs to sink in too, is how fast it is. Your application is reviewed within 30 days. You get approved within 30 days of applying. This is incredible for Europe compared to, say, the Portugal Golden Visa, which has a backlog of years. So with the Italian Golden Visa, you're in Europe within a couple months. With the Portuguese Golden Visa, you're waiting years and years to get accepted. So if you're trying to send your kids to university in Europe, this is the program for you. Definitely not Portugal. If your kids are, close to university age. If your kids are 10, maybe, you can wait for the Portugal Golden Visa. But if your kids are 15, 16 years old and they're going to university soon, this is the visa that you're going to want so that your kids have access to university in Europe. Another perk is Italy's special tax regimes. If you become a tax resident by spending at least 183 days per year in Italy, you can opt for a flat tax of 200,000 euros annually on foreign income. Annually, actually in general, exempting you from taxes on overseas earnings for up to 15 years. You don't have to pay taxes on foreign capital gains. You don't have to pay taxes on any foreign income whatsoever. So this really starts making a lot of sense if you're the type of person that makes more than, say, $600,000, $700,000 a year. If you're the type of person that pays more than $200,000 a year in taxes, you can come to Italy and pay a flat tax of $200,000, right? So for a lot of high net worth individuals paying millions of dollars a year in taxes, they could come to Italy and pay just $200,000. And that is a rock solid tax residency that the entire world is going to accept. If you go to a bank and say, I'm an Italian tax resident, that's a low risk profile compared to someone that says, I don't know, I'm a Paraguay tax resident or something, right? So this, for high net worth individuals, this flat tax is a no-brainer. Alternatively, if you relocate to southern Italy or certain earthquake affected areas, you may qualify for a 7% tax on foreign income, including pensions, for up to 10 years. These tax incentives make the Golden Visa especially attractive for wealthy individuals and retirees with the pension thing, the 7% flat tax. So, Italy can be a lot more tax efficient than its reputation might suggest. Now let's move on to the Elective Residency Visa, often called the Italy Retirement Visa. We have another video on our channel about this visa in much more detail, But basically, this is a long-term visa tailored for non-EU citizens who want to live in Italy without working. It's ideal for retirees or financially independent individuals with stable passive income from sources like pensions, rental properties, or investment dividends. Unlike the Golden Visa, it doesn't require a large investment, making it more accessible for those who can prove financial self-sufficiency. To qualify, you need a minimum passive income of 32,000 euros per year for a single applicant, 38,000 for a married couple, plus an additional 20% per dependent child. This income must come from non-employment sources, and consulates are strict about documentation. You'll need to provide official letters from banks, financial institutions, or pension providers, along with tax returns from the past 2 years. Some consulates may reject applications if the income isn't clearly passive, so dividends or rental agreements are preferred over lump sum savings, though substantial savings can sometimes suffice depending on the consulate. I think for real estate investors, this is a really interesting angle, and usually they don't take the mortgages into consideration, which is a common question. You also need to prove accommodation in Italy, such as a long-term rental contract or property deed. Short-term options like Airbnb won't cut it. Our team of lawyers can usually help hook that up in terms of the contract. Other requirements include private health insurance, a valid passport, and a clean criminal record. A letter explaining your reasons for wanting to move to Italy is also required, particularly for applications through American consulates from what we've seen. The application process starts at an Italian consulate in your home country. You'll need to complete a long-stay visa application form, pay some fees, and submit all documents. Processing typically takes 4 to 8 weeks, though it can be longer. This elective residence visa does take longer than the Golden Visa, which kind of has a fast track to appointments and approvals. But anyway, once you're approved, you can enter Italy, and then you apply for the residency permit, which is called the Permesso di Soggiorno, within 8 days at the local questura. The initial permit is valid for 1 year and can be renewed every 2 years, provided you maintain the same financial and residency conditions. After 5 years of legal residency, you can apply for permanent residency, which requires registering as a civil and tax resident in Italy, is my understanding for this particular visa class, and also demonstrating an A2 level of Italian proficiency, which is very low. Like A2, you can barely string sentences together. But anyway, after 10 years, again, you may be eligible for citizenship, assuming you spent at least 183 days per year in Italy and meet other criteria. The elective residency visa comes with several benefits. You gain access to Italy's public healthcare system by paying a small annual fee, which is around 2,000 euros, giving you the same benefits as Italian citizens, including a family doctor and specialist visits. That's pretty cool, especially if you're from Canada or the US, where in the US, you'll go bankrupt paying for healthcare, and in Canada, you have a multi-year wait for simple procedures. Well, if you retire to Italy, you get public health care basically included. Other benefits, the children of visa holders can enroll in Italian universities, as I mentioned, at the same tuition rates as locals, which is significantly lower than foreign students. You also get visa-free travel within the Schengen area for up to 90 days in any 180-day period, but of course they can't really track you that much once you're in the Schengen area. However, there are other strict rules. You cannot work in Italy or your home country under this particular visa class, and you must reside in Italy for at least 183 days per year to maintain the permit. Spending more than 6 continuous months outside Italy can jeopardize your renewal. If you have details about the specifics of that, again, book a call with us, link in the description. For retirees specifically, the elective residency visa is often the go-to option, but the Golden Visa can also be used for retirement if you're willing to invest. The choice depends on your financial situation and goals. The elective residency visa is simpler and cheaper, obviously, but you need steady passive income, while the golden visa offers more flexibility, like the ability to work and no residency requirement. However, the golden visa does have that upfront investment, which can be a barrier, and some argue the returns on investments may not justify the cost, or obviously there is risk involved in any investment. Let's briefly touch on other visa options that might suit retirees or digital nomads or anyone seeking long-term residency. There's also a digital nomad visa. Introduced in 2022, the idea it's intended for remote workers employed by companies outside Italy or self-employed professionals with clients abroad. It requires a minimum income of 28,000 euros per year, health insurance, and proof of professional qualifications. This visa is less relevant for retirees, but could work for younger, financially independent individuals who want to continue remote work. The process is similar to the elective residency visa, with applications through the consulate and a residency permit upon arrival. Another option is the family visa, which applies if you marry an Italian citizen or permanent resident. This can be a pathway for retirees whose spouse qualifies, but it requires reapplying from scratch if switching from another visa type. For those already in Italy on a short stay visa, you can apply for a long stay visa like the elective residency visa without leaving the country, though legal assistance is recommended to navigate the process. So now let's compare the golden visa and elective residency visa again a little bit to help you decide. The golden visa requires a significant upfront investment starting at $250K, while the elective residency visa demands proof of 32 to 38,000 euros in annual passive income. The golden visa allows you to work and has no minimum residency requirement, making it ideal for those who want flexibility or plan to split time between countries. The elective residency visa, however, prohibits work and requires you to live in Italy at least half the year. The golden visa's processing time is very fast, often less than 30 days for approval, and then the whole process is going to be 3 to 6 months. So it's a faster track to permanent residency, a faster track to residency. Both visas grant Schengen area travel and family inclusion, but the golden visa has a lot of interesting angles. You also have the tax benefits for high net worth individuals, like the 200K flat tax, which are very tailored to high net worth individuals. And you're seeing people from the UK moving to Italy, people from everywhere moving to Italy. It's actually been one of the countries with the highest inbound migration of millionaires in the world, almost rivaling Dubai. Here are some practical tips for applying. First, hire an experienced Italian immigration lawyer or avvocato to avoid common pitfalls like incomplete documentation or unclear income sources. Consulates, especially in places like London or New York, can be very strict, so every document must be translated and legalized and be perfect, or it's going to really slow down your application. And if you're looking for a trusted Italian immigration lawyer, because believe me, there's a lot of really bad Italian lawyers out there, MyLatinLife, we can help. We know all the best Italian lawyers, whether you're looking for the golden visa or the elective residency visa or family reunification or citizenship by descent. We have got you covered. There's a link in the description where you can book a call with us. You can be speaking to us as early as this week, and we can help you get the process started. We can look at your holistic situation, build you a plan, and I guarantee you are going to learn something on this call. It's going to be a life-changing call. So link in the description to book a call with us. A couple more tips here. Start gathering your documents early because you're going to need a criminal record check. You're going to need to get that apostilled. You're going to ideally want your birth certificate. You're going to need that apostilled. You should have an apostilled birth certificate anyway as just good practice and record keeping. You're going to want to get your income proof notarized in the right way. And all these things can take several weeks to months. So it's important to get started well in advance of when you want to move to Italy. Third, consider opening an Italian bank account for the Golden Visa, as it's required for investment transactions. Some banks allow you to open as a non-resident or even open remotely, but an in-person visit is often smoother, and the lawyers can help organize that bank account setup as well. Finally, while learning Italian isn't mandatory, basic language skills can make daily life and interactions much easier, especially when it comes time to renewals and permanent residency and citizenship, where there is a language requirement of at least A2. And if you want to become an Italian citizen, I think it's even higher than that in terms of the level. There's A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. For retirees, Italy is a dream destination. Who hasn't dreamt about living in Italy? The cost of living can be very reasonable, often lower than major US, UK, or Canadian cities, especially in southern regions like Puglia or Sicily. Healthcare is top-notch, and the 7% flat tax for southern residents is a huge draw. However, be aware of Italy's tax system. As a tax resident, your worldwide income is taxable unless you opt for a specific regime. And Americans face dual taxation issues, so consult a tax advisor. And again, MyLatinLife can help with that as well. Living in Italy full-time is different from visiting, so it's important to do your research. And watching this video, you're already doing the right thing. You're taking the right steps in terms of doing your research and being prepared. To wrap up the video, Italy offers two main residency pathways for non-EU citizens: the Golden Visa, aka the Investor's Visa, and the Elective Residency Visa for retirees or the financially independent. The Golden Visa requires a minimum investment of $250K. The Elective Residency Visa needs $32K in passive income. Both provide access to the Schengen area, healthcare, and a pathway to permanent residency or citizenship. Choose based on your financial resources, lifestyle goals, and whether you want to work or invest. For more details, check out our other videos on this channel about some of those specific visa paths. We have specific videos about the Elective Residency Visa, the Digital Nomad Visa, the Investor Visa, Citizenship by Descent, the Path to Citizenship. So please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, drop a comment if you have any anecdotes or questions or things you want to share, book a call, and we'll see you in the next video.